All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca, and with a little piece of update. See, I told y'all, just be patient, child. Be patient. I'm gonna do what I need to do when it comes to reporting on this case concerning Maleah Davis, because I feel some kind of way. I understand what you guys were saying, but see, I have to have a little shield of protection, because these people really do get upset and come for our channels when we talk about subjects that they're involved in, especially when it's not right. But see, I'm keeping my good eye and my bad eye on this entire situation. And I wanted to come in and talk about an article that I found in relation to this. So let me get to the article, and we gonna start talking about what we need to talk about in relation to this mother, who I'm very disappointed in. You know, I just don't understand why taking care of our children, protecting our children, isn't the forethought in everybody's mind that has kids. I don't understand it. And from the jump, I was aware of the child, the CPS calling. I was aware of the situation where the child was injured and had to be taken to the emergency room. I was aware of CPS removing the children from the home. And I was aware of them allowing her to go back into the home. All signs of a big mistake. You know, I've always said I didn't think that everybody that gets CPS called on them is necessarily in the wrong. Sometimes people do it for malicious reasons. But this article that I found over on I think it's called the Chronicle, says that protesters mobbed Maleah Davis's mother after court hearing for her boyfriend. Why she was there in the first place is beyond me, but whatever, okay? Now, a court date for Maleah Davis's mother's live-in boyfriend on Monday turned into a volatile scene as protesters chased the missing girl's mother out of the Houston courthouse and down the street, alleging that she is just as complicit in her daughter's death as the boyfriend. I totally agree with that. Now, see, the tables are beginning to turn. People are starting to open their eyes to this. You know, it says at least a dozen people, some bearing signs and T-shirts declaring justice for Maleah, had arrived for an initial court appearance for Darion Vince, the boyfriend accused of tampering with a human corpse in the 4-year-old's disappearance. His court date was reset, but the protesters and the reporters swarmed mother Brittany Bowens when she walked out of the court with community activist Quanell X. See, Bowen stood back while Quanell X spoke, shaking as tears rolled down her cheeks. The main thing right now that all of us want to know is, what did he do with Maleah? Quanell X said. The protesters drowned out Quanell X as he spoke to reporters. Why isn't she locked up? One yelled. She let it happen, said another, referencing Bowen's admission on Friday she knew Vince might have been abusing and molesting her daughter. After several minutes, Quanell X and Bowens walked down the hallway of the courthouse. Protesters followed, chanting justice for Maleah. Several people yelled while tailing the mother down the street. One person handed her a poster and hugged her. Bowens broke down crying. The mother had left Maleah and her other 2 children in Vince's care while she was out of state for a family member's funeral, Quanell X said. But on May 4th, Vince reported Maleah missing and told police that he had been knocked in and out of consciousness for nearly 24 hours while his stepdaughter was abducted. He said he was checking on the possible flat tire on the way to Bush Intercontinental Airport, where he was supposed to pick up his fiancée, when he was attacked by 3 men. He said he woke up nearly a day later, regained consciousness, got a ride to the hospital with his 1-year-old son, who is still with him. In the days that have followed, police have tried grasping what really happened to the young girl whose body hasn't been found. A camera attached to an upstairs neighbor's porch might have helped bring together pieces of the puzzle. The video caught Vince going in and out of the apartment twice on May 3rd, once carrying a heavy laundry basket placed with a large trash bag inside of it, document shows. Houston police said Vince left the home during the second trip with cleaning supplies, including a bottle of bleach. Drops of what may be Maleah blood was found in the bathroom and in the hallway leading to the apartment where she lived with her mother and Vince, according to the court documents. Police dogs also smelled a scent of decomposition in the silver Nissan Altima that Vince drove the night of Maleah's reported disappearance, the documents state. The car was located in Missouri City, Texas parking lot with a gas can and a laundry basket in the trunk. And investigators found footage of Vince arriving at the hospital in Altima, despite claiming not to know the whereabouts of the vehicle after the abduction, according to the charges. Vince, 26, was arrested Saturday at a relative's home in Sugar Land after nearly a week of ignoring calls from police. He was held in lieu of posting a $1 million bond, which has since been lowered to $45,000, according to the court records. Vince's attorney, Tom Burton III, said he hasn't reviewed the evidence and is not yet prepared to speak about the case. Houston police officials haven't said whether they believe Maleah is still alive. Texas search crews have spent days searching near Vince's apartment, while many residents across Houston remain captivated by the efforts. Okay, so it is now at this point where we can officially say, to a degree, Mama knows something about this. Now, I'm not understanding, because as I watch the timeline, first of all, this man has hurt your child before, to the point where your child had to be taken to an emergency room where she had to undergo surgery. CPS was called, and your children were removed from your home only to later be returned. You and this man have an on-again, off-again relationship. Something about he supposedly may be a little bisexual or something of that nature. Now, I got a problem with this. It ain't a piece of peen God has created on this side of glory that would ever make me choose a man over my child. When this man hurt your child the first time and caused your kids to be removed from you, you should have ended all contact with him, period. I don't give a damn if the other kids are by him or not. This whole entire story sounds like a bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. This is a woman who chose her child by the evidence provided in these articles, and I will link this one down in the description box. In the pinned comments as usual. This is a woman who chose her man over her child. And in doing so, your child is probably no longer on this side of earth. That's why them protesters was after you, because of the timeline of events that has occurred between you and this man. I don't know what it is about these women, but if you are not truly wanting to be a mother, see, just about everybody without fertility issues can reproduce. Everybody not fit to be a mother, and clearly she's not. This article alone says that she ain't worth shit. First of all, ma'am, the only time I would show up for court for him is when it's in relation to me being able to speak and see that he gets prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I would definitely not be there because I give a damn about him. Because this man don't care about you, and he don't care about your kid. And now you have a baby that's probably deceased at the hands of this man. Was it that serious? It ain't no love greater than the love that a mother's supposed to have for her child. So for this woman to feel that choosing to stick with this man after he hurt your baby the first time tells me she's a weak hoe, and I don't know her. I don't respect that whatsoever. And I hope in the days and weeks to come, the evidence comes out more and more. First of all, I hope they find this baby's remains so that she can be put to rest. Secondly, I hope they find the evidence necessary to pin this mother in the case. And I don't give a damn if Cornell X. I wouldn't give a damn if Malcolm came back from the dead and tried to stand for this woman. Right is right and wrong is wrong. This lady knew something about what was happening with her children under this man. For you to even trust him enough to go out of town for whatever reasons was wrong. And I'm side-eyeing that. Was you out of town? I don't understand. It's a sad day when a mother desire to be with a man supersedes the caring of her child to the point where you put your kids in danger. I'm going to tell you something. My number one priority as a mother when my children were small was to protect them and provide for them. And I would do it even if it cost me my life. I did it. And even though they are grown today, I still have that motherly instinct that makes me check on situations from time to time. Because at the end of the day, they can grow up and become grown and marry off, but that is still your egg. And I protect my eggs with my life if necessary. I don't understand this. This is so heartbreaking. It's so much stuff I could say about this woman. Like, bitch, what was wrong with your self-esteem? You didn't feel, you know what? We all find it. We all done met a man that we really care about. But when being with this man and dealing with his issues can be of detriment to you or your children, what I feel about it is she got very low self-esteem. So somebody didn't love her. Somebody didn't teach her how to love. Because this is crazy. This should have never happened. This is a 4-year-old baby. A 4-year-old baby whose life didn't even have a chance to truly begin, and now it's possibly gone. I mean, dog smelling decomposition. This man having bleach, a heavy size laundry basket, and a black bag inside of it. This sounds like some Casey Anthony type of shit almost. Okay. I don't understand this. When do we start putting men and relationships before the well-being of our child? I would rather be by myself in a room full of bedroom candy before I let a man come along and have me so stigmatized that I don't think about the well-being of my children, and it's her responsibility. She laid up and had them. If you didn't want kids, and by some happenstance you get pregnant, there are options. You do know that, right? I don't understand women who have children and don't feel that it's their number one obligation in this life at that point to take care of your children. Since when do we protect the boyfriend, but we don't protect the kids? What kind of society are we living in where a piece of peen means more to you than your child? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we need justice for Maleah. But we also need swift and full justice of this crime that has been committed by this boyfriend. And now we believe the mother to be somewhat complicit in it. I don't know her involvement, but I don't know I don't understand the type of woman that could be okay with her child being murdered, basically, at the hands of the stepfather. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. And I'm just having a hard time digesting this entire story. Yesterday, I didn't have anything to go on. Today, I got something to go on. This is a weak woman. And she deserves to sit in the same prison cell as him and rot to death. And as I said yesterday, I have never been a proponent for the death penalty. But in this case, I wouldn't be upset at all if both of them end up in prison on death row. I wouldn't have not one problem whatsoever with it, because it's a sin And it's a shame what has happened to this baby. That's a sin and a shame. And I don't respect a woman who chooses her man over her child. You was crazy as hell to ever even let him be around you and your babies again after what he did to Maleah. You's a fool to stay with him if he dipping in and doing it with other men. You a fool if you fooling with somebody with a lot of psychological problems. I ain't no counselor. I can't help you. Awful. But that's the latest in the Maleah Davis update. I will be back as more information comes, and we will discuss it. We will discuss it completely. Ain't nothing gonna be left off the table. And I just pray that they find this baby soon, so that you can put her to rest. And I pray to God. I pray to God that every single piece of evidence that can link her and him to this crime is found, and they are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. That's all I have to say about this case. Again, I will link this article in the pinned comment so that you can go over and read the article and see the little film of the protest that went on yesterday in Houston, Texas. It's all on this website, so you'll be able to see it. And in closing, y'all remember the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on these YT streets. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this entire developing situation. And if you have not become a Love Thing for the free 99, please hit the subscribe button as well as your notification bell, so that each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from this channel, you will be notified and you can come over and join in the fun. Child, what kind of world do we live in where we choosing the men over our kids? What in the world is going on? I don't know. This is just heartbreaking to me, and it's making me mad because I feel like this child was not protected. I feel like the mother... okay. I'm going to leave that alone. I'll keep up with what's going on with this case, and we're going to reconvene back here later to discuss anything that may come up, because I'm disgusted. Y'all, I'm disgusted. I always felt like the mama knew a little something, but to know that this woman knew as much as she did, and she did nothing. Wow. Says a lot about her, too. It really does. But I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all leave me your thoughts down in the panty. Peace.